Welcome to the series where I test out the OSRS Wiki money-making guides. I started this series almost a year ago, and since then we've tried out multiple methods even if they're a little silly, such as picking bananas or even flax. If you enjoy these types of videos, then feel free to check out the playlist that I've made for them, and feel free to leave a suggestion down in the comments for a method that you'd like to see tested. With that being said, let's get into the video. So for today's moneymaker, we'll be taking a look at the boss Sarachnis. Now, I've never actually killed the boss, I think. Maybe once, not entirely sure, but yeah, I don't really have much experience here. Today would definitely be a day where I learn something new. So, if we look at the drop table, there's really nothing too special. I mean, the Sarachnis cudgel is on there, but it's not really worth too much. At least now it isn't. And as for the rest of the drops, yeah, nothing too crazy, but there is a great variety of different items. Now, since this is my first time, I probably won't be that efficient at it. I also don't have the best in slot gear. It says we can kill about 30 Sarachnis per hour, so we'll see if we can do that. I'm going to go ahead and just complete my entire task. So this is the gear setup that I decided to bring. Obviously, there are some better items that I can bring, like the Scythe of Vitter, but I don't currently own one, so I'll just be sticking with the Abyssal Bludgeon for today. Everything else is the best stuff that I can bring currently. I'll throw up a picture of the guide on the wiki that shows the best, or the gear from best to worst, so you can decide what you want to bring. I did decide to bring my Dragon Claws for the spec, and I have a Divine Super Combat Potion along with Prayer Potions and some Sharks, and of course the Max Cape for teleports. Another item that was recommended to bring was the Brimstone Ring, but I currently don't own one, and I think the Berserker Ring imbued would do just fine. Also, make sure you bring some sort of slash weapon if you don't have Dragon Claws with you, so that you can slash the webs to get there. Now, the way that I'll be getting there is by using the Xerix Talisman. I have one mounted in my player-owned house. Click on Teleport menu, go to Xerix Glade, and then from here, we can run over here to the Forthos dungeon. Now, you can also use a Spirit Tree if you have it planted, which is located right here. This is also another good teleport, but the Xerix Talisman works just fine for us. So I'll go ahead and go down this ladder, and then we'll make our way down here. Hopefully these spiders don't hit us. Let's go ahead and switch to our claws so we can slash through the web. Oh yeah, it's also very important. If you don't have claws, make sure you bring a slash weapon to get through the webs that are here. I was going to bring the Wilderness Sword, but I figured I would be better off bringing another Shark. The reason why I'd bring the Wilderness Sword over the Claws is because the Sword has a 100% chance of cutting the web, and the Claws, as you can see, took 3 tries to cut it down. But anyways, here is the Sarachnis boss room. You know what, I might actually bring the Wilderness Sword after this. It is taking quite some time, but yeah, here's Sarachnis in this room. Just have to cut this web, and then we can go ahead and fight the boss, level 318. Alright, so I think I'm ready to finally fight the boss. I read a little bit on the wiki to see what some of the mechanics were, and we're just going to go ahead and jump in there and see how we do. Now, this is going to be a money-making video, and I am going to be timing myself to see how long it takes to kill the 35 that we have, but keep in mind, this is my first time, so I'm definitely not going to be super efficient with it. So, without further ado, let's just jump in and see how it goes. So the fight is pretty straightforward. For the most part, you'll want to be attacking Sarachnis, and then whenever she throws a web at you and causes you to get stuck, you want to switch to protect from range because she does attack with both ranged and melee. Also, when she spawns the other little spiders, you want to make sure you kill the blue one since that one does attack with magic. Alright, there we go. There's our first kill. Something tells me it didn't go too well. I had to eat quite a lot, but there it is, our first Sarachnis kill ever. And luckily, it only takes 10 seconds for Sarachnis to spawn once again. I think before it used to take a lot longer, so world hopping was the meta here, but now that that's no longer a problem, we can just stay on this world. Second kill, Death Runes. Interesting how the items drop over here, even though she dies over here. You could probably stay here longer if you do decide to prayer flick all of these monsters, but I'm no expert, so I won't be doing that. 15 Dragon Bones, okay. So Sarachnis managed to kill 15 dragons. That's actually quite impressive. I can see why the scythe is a really good weapon here. Even though it might cost a lot to operate, killing this boss as fast as possible is the goal here because it's kind of an annoying boss to fight with the little web mechanics. Alright, spider carcass 10. Thanks, I guess. Alright, so we were able to get 7 kills in one trip. I don't know if that's good. It's probably not. But I'm going to go ahead and bank everything, get some more food, and then we'll go back in there. 202 mithril bolts along with a tattered sun page. Why is it blue? Okay, absolutely nothing for a kill. You love to see it. Egg potatoes, okay. So at least we get some food drops. This will prolong our trips until we run out of prayer, I guess. Ooh, grubby key. That's pretty cool. I think the last video I made in this dungeon was actually the grubby key video, where I just opened up the chest for a whole hour. And it actually wasn't a bad moneymaker. I don't know how it fares now, but back then it was pretty good. That's a lot of mithril arrows. Why fletch when you can just kill Sarachnis? Yeah, I think the next time I come here to kill Sarachnis, it's probably going to be with a scythe, and it's just going to be to get the pet, because so far the drops aren't amazing. I feel like at this point, or at least with this account and these stats, you're much better off killing other bosses. But it is a good mid-level boss, I guess. Our first giant egg sack full. Very nice. Kind of gross, but I'll take it. A crystal key and a grubby key. What a drop. Some uncut diamonds, okay. It would seem that Sarachnis also robbed a jewelry store before coming here. Some more gems, okay. It would appear that my suspicions are correct. Another giant egg sack. A rune plate body. Definitely belonged to a adventurer who tried slaying Sarachnis, and unfortunately couldn't kill her. A rune medhelm. I think we found another piece of the armor that the brave adventurer was wearing. I'll make sure to get that back to the family of the deceased. Alright, there we go. There's the final kill. Slayer task is completed, and that is 35 kills. As you can see, it took us less than an hour to get 35 kills, and that's with me never having killed Sarachnis before, so honestly, that's pretty good. I definitely expected to take longer than an hour, especially considering it said that it's about 30 kills an hour, but that's probably taking into account that this is like a med-level boss, so you're most likely going to be killing it with med-level gear. But even at that point, I don't even know if it's worth it. But I did decide to do it just because I had a Slayer task, so the Slayer helmet did help out. Well, I gotta say, the loot is very satisfying. It perfectly filled up my inventory, all 28 spaces. Let's go ahead and do a price check. And it's valued at around 901,000 coins, along with these tattered pages that I have. But yeah, not bad. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and sell off all the stuff as quickly as possible. One thing to note though is that these giant egg sacks are tradable. I actually didn't know that. I thought you had to manually cut them open and then take the red spider's eggs out. So I'm just going to sell the sacks by themselves like that. But if you want to, you can cut them open and then sell them individually. So here we go. Alright, there we go. Everything sold off. Total money that we got from selling everything, 872k. So again, not bad. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of other bosses that are worth killing over this one, but if you're going for the pet, I mean, it's a decent boss, I suppose. Oh yeah, and just a little tip on the pages. These are actually used for a mini quest called In Search of Knowledge, which I actually haven't done yet. And once you finish it, apparently you can turn them in to Lawliet, if I'm saying that right, in the Arceus library for 1,000 coins per page. So yeah, I guess they have a value of 1,000 coins each. So now we can go ahead and calculate the total profit we got from this one Slayer task of Sarachnis. So if we take into account the cost of supplies, which was 180,227 GP, Subtract that from the money we made, which was 872,669 GP, we get a grand total profit of 692,442 GP. Now we did manage to finish this task under an hour, so it's more like around 780,000 GP per hour, but of course it'll change depending on what gear you have and what your levels are. Here's also a look at the XP we managed to get. Quite a bit of strength XP, as well as hit points and Slayer XP. And here's a look at the loot tracker for all of the Sarachnis kills. Now it only says 34 even though we did 35, because one of the kills that we did, we got absolutely no loot, so keep that in mind. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, and if you enjoyed it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe even a subscription. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next episode.